Hello, hello everyone. Okay, so this video today is going to be a flip through Friday. Hashtag flip through Friday. This is the first time I've participated in this hashtag, and I decided to do this year because in the last 2-3 years I've made a bunch of like art books, art journals, junk journals, and I thought with all my new subscribers that probably haven't seen what I do, I would like to do a flip through Friday. So on Fridays I will take an art journal or an art binder or a junk journal and flip through it to show you guys. So I don't know how long I'll be doing this, but for at least a few Fridays I'll be showing off a bunch of stuff. So this is hashtag flip through Friday. So happy Friday! I could not find to see if anybody was hosting it or if it was a free, or not free, but if you know who started it, I would like to give them credit. So if you know, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, so this was my first watercolor journal from last year. So I started this one at the beginning of last year. So next Friday there will be another watercolor journal that'll show up. So if you want to get notified, please tune in. Hit that notification bell. Alright, here's my first page. Isn't it pretty? I love doing watercolors. They're so dreamy. Let's see if I can turn this with them. They're just beautiful. You can tell the color palette that I like working with. A lot of purples, pinks. I love doing a lot of nature scenes. And I love the wet on wet technique that makes the colors kind of bleed. I love that. This one's a lot bolder in color. And then some of these I just decided to play around with. I hope I'm in focus. Am I focused? For the most part. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but these little leaves looking things, they're gold. So I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up. Here's my spooky forest. And a lot of these I had done little short videos on Instagram, and I put music or sounds over the top of them. Super cool. You should go check out my Instagram. Some of them I had a chance to transfer over to YouTube on my shorts, but sometimes YouTube don't let music transfer, so all you're seeing is just pictures without music. Not as fun, I think. I really like how this one came out. This one, I wasn't enjoying, like, wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Still turned out really good, but it wasn't supposed to bleed. into the water, and it did. So, a lot of green. Sometimes when I use like a whole tray of colors, there's certain colors that go down faster than others, and then I kind of force myself to use the colors I barely even used, which was this green palette, the green colors. I was trying to use those up by doing this page. I did not do any of these on camera because last year I watched my friend's dogs a lot, and while I was watching them I would sit there, play some music while the doggies were sleeping or napping, and I would watercolor paint. This one I loved the color palette too, but it wasn't, maybe I just didn't have enough water, but it felt like it wasn't blending as well as I would like it to. So I would like to, you know, retry some of these again and see if I can do better. I really like how this one turned out. My daughter, she kind of challenged me on this one because she saw that I was doing a lot of landscapes and like nature scenes, which I love doing, right? She's like, do a portrait of something or someone, like, do a portrait. And I was like, I don't do portraits. And she's like, I've seen you paint people before. I'm like, yeah, but in acrylic paints are so much easier to control and move around and do what I want it to do, right? And I can make layers with acrylic paint. Watercolor is a lot harder to do a portrait with. But I had a lot of fun. I was trying out different techniques with this one actually, with the splatters and like the ombre shadow back here behind her, like starting out dark and going out light. And yeah, so I had a lot of fun doing that one. It was a challenge, but I had fun. I like how it turned out in the end. This one was requested by my friend, which I thought I gave this one to her. So I don't know why it's still here. I'll have to contact her and let her know. But she requested this one and I did it for her. So all I have to do is spray a protective coating on it, which I should spray all these. I use, if anyone's curious, I use this right here to spray on my paintings, my watercolor paintings, and it does really good. I made a few holiday cards last year when I had that big order, and I did a couple watercolors and I sprayed this on them and they turned out beautifully. It sets the watercolor, so if any water dripped on it after I've coated it, it won't make the watercolor react. Like, it's solid. So that's what I liked about it. So I gotta spray this one for my friend. And then here's another spooky one. Spooky. Fingers work. Now, this one did not turn out at all what I wanted it to turn out. It looked really weird. So I officially titled this as my Alien Witch. My Alien Witch. And it's actually a little unfinished. I wanted a galaxy theme up in this corner. in this corner here. I wanted planets and stars, and because I wasn't satisfied with the way her face looked, I stopped. It was irritating. If you do any painting at all, of any sort, you understand the frustration that you can end up with when a painting is not going your way at all. Step away. Come back to it. And this year I might come back to it and try to fix it. Might. I do want to challenge myself a little bit this year on some things. This one's really beautiful. I liked the color palette on this one too. My husband said it kind of looked like the forest was on fire, but the reference photo that I was going off, the forest wasn't on fire. It was just really cloudy, and the sun had just gone down behind the trees, and it was lighting the bottoms of the clouds all up. And that's what I was trying to get at. Well, this one's really beautiful. I actually might spray this one and hang it up, frame it and hang it up, because I really, really liked how this one turned out. Very beautiful. I like the mountain and tree themes that I've done. And I do love doing a nighttime sky with clouds and a moon. I wish I had captured the reflection of the moon in the water better, but I'm still learning. Oh, and I had to do a spider web. And then here's another page where I was trying my hardest to use some of the colors in my palette up more because I wasn't using them. They look like they were hardly touched. So this was half watercolor and half the Hemi gouache, because I have those too. And last year I got the Hemi gouaches, was really excited, and then barely have touched them. So this year I think I will play around with the Hemi gouache more. I really do like how it turned out though. It's pretty. And then I was starting to think about what I was going to do for Christmas cards. So this was kind of a test page. And I was testing out different techniques for this one because in the very background you can see that it's a solid blue almost, and then the technique was lifting up the paint after you put it down. So that's what some of these are back here. And then over the top of those you add more and more colors on top. I think it turned out pretty cool. It can be a really cool Christmas card. This one was also the Hemi gouache. I was loving how so the background was watercolor. I remember that. The moth was the Hemi gouache, and this one is unfinished as well. I need to go in and add the black lining, but I stopped because it was irritating me because I was trying to get the shadow of the wings up. So I was trying to put some shadow right along the body, and it kept lifting up on me. So you can see how it was like, because I was trying to make it blend, and the more I tried to make it blend, the more it was lifting back up. So I stopped. So this one I will probably go back to as well and try to finish it up. And I would like to add like black lining to everything too. My daughter is liking that one. So once I finish it, she probably wants it. This one I think was the Hemi gouache as well. I was playing around with making the mountains lighter in the background, and the closer they got to you, the darker they got. So I was playing around with that. And then I decided to pick up the pen, just a pen, and just start loosely lining everything. And I thought it turned out really cool. And I got a little guy in the water with his boat there. Oh, here's another spooky one. Looks like a very stormy night, doesn't it? I like it. Turned out pretty cool. And I think this is Hemi gouache as well. This one, I think I did finish it, but I don't know. I have to play around with the Hemi gouache more. They're supposed to be kind of like watercolor, but not. So I'm like really trying to get a feel for them. I was trying to get this background to look like there's light coming in behind the tree, because it's in a valley, or like a canyon is what it's called, right? So I have to play around with the gouache a lot more this year. I did buy them. I need to use them, right? And that's the last piece. Alright, so thank you so much for tuning in and watching my Flip Through Friday. So use the hashtag and go look at everyone's flip throughs of different stuff. It's pretty cool. Alright, thank you so much guys, and have a beautiful Friday.